Squirrel, squirrel, jump down on my roof. Redwood, all the trees jump apart. Sparrow, cardinal, hummingbird. The service will slow me through the hill. The faint sound of the highway. Night sets on the church of the pine. As one day they'll all be laid to rest. And from my room I look at the street and see the youth passing along while I unwind my endless song. And in my bed I play the guitar, I listen to strings till I find a tone. And if it don't come, then I put it down. Dogs in the neighborhood, moon glows over the gravestone. The lamplight, the falling fence post. Dance by strangled black hole. The sun rises over a tree line. With welcoming morning light. Day sets on the church of the pine. One day we'll all be laid to rest. And from the hills I look up at stars and feel the darkness swirl like a broom. And in my head I'm playing with words. I scramble and strain to find the right one. Sometimes they are not, sometimes they don't come. people were really here, they just really want to hear this song. I played the first set and this go. Woo! Different climate now. It's more culture than it was then. So I apologize for anything might be offensive. At the time when I released the album, it was called Benji. Yeah, right. I released the album now. Lights out. You can do things like that. I could do that in 2014. That's why all these bands are going out doing reunion tours. Shit, they sang about 30 years ago, then it's old and vintage. It's okay because they did it then, they're not doing it now. But I still am sorry. I'm slightly more, how would I say this? I'm slightly less politically incorrect than I was then. Slightly. I'm still, yeah. Slightly, I mean it, slightly. You'll be hearing my new songs. I'm playing some brand new stuff. Not vintage. Not this, I'm just doing this as a favor for something. my heart's in this new version of the things I'm going through now. 57 years of life. I'm not doing no reunion tours. I don't care how much money they offer Red House bands to do a reunion tour. It's never gonna fucking It will not happen. Ever. So I'm gonna do this song for somebody who requested it. I went down more than ever spared his play. Thanks everybody for being here. This is my third time in New York this year. It's nice to be playing this room for the third time this year. 2 shows in one night for the third time this year feels great. It means a lot to me. Thank you. It means a lot.
We love you.
they received an email. These things happen once, not very often. We received an email, and it was these two guys playing this most beautiful music I'd ever heard. It was absolutely beautiful. And I had no idea what the context was or anything. And I just saw these guys playing this beautiful intro. I didn't know what was going on. It just sounded like this beautiful classical. One guy was playing a hollow body jazz guitar. I think that guy was playing an Alesund guitar. It was the most beautiful sound. And they started to sing it. When I started singing, I realized that I'd written this song. I'd written this song. And I was, oh my God. When I walk around in my natural life, I just take pictures of lizards, seashells, and flowers and stuff. And I don't really think of myself as talented or that mark. I just, well, I'm so I tell people my name's Mike. In real life, I'm just the most bland, generic. I go to Starbucks, I'm just a regular guy, and I forget until somebody walks up to me. I'm like, oh yeah, that's. But anyhow, now and then it happens in a different way. You know, I've made it just, you know, where it just, like, fuck, I did that. And I didn't, you know, I was a fucking drug addict kid when I was young, and I was counted out. I was supposed to, you know, where I grew up was Massillon, Ohio, there was a football team. If you weren't in the Massillon Tigers, you didn't count. If you weren't in the Massillon Tigers, you were destined to be doomed. If you were in the Massillon Tigers, you were destined to be great. True thing. There's a documentary, you guys can watch it, it's on Netflix, it's called How Not to Bury a Body. Episode 1 takes place in the town I grew up in, Massillon, Ohio. And my point is, this dude disappeared right near where my dad and other relatives lived. This dude disappeared. It took him 2 years to find this guy's body buried behind the house on 8th Street, Southeast 8th Street, Massillon, Ohio. My point is, if he was a Massillon Tiger, it would have been a big hunt for him. And they would have found him within a couple of days, but he wasn't a Massillon Tiger. So it was just, I could have been something like that. But anyhow, I was in remedial classes when I was a kid. I just didn't think, I dreamed big and I worked hard at it. And then eventually something happened in my life, and I started making a living playing music in 1991, and it's still something I don't take for granted. I'll go back to my hotel tonight and I'll be like, so I feel so blessed to be here tonight with Evan, who's been doing sound for me on and off since 2003. My friend Michael and Brandon, Kyle's here, Elise pulling a show for me. I had friends at the show earlier. It means so much to me. But anyhow, these strangers from out of nowhere sent me this piece of music. I was like, oh fuck. And anyhow, they emailed my label again recently, and they said they're going to be at this show. And when I play this song that those guys played, and I said, you guys, you know, by the time you guys are at that second show, my guitar's going to be tired. Would you be willing to play it? And they said, no, I'm too nervous. I don't want to come, but these guys can play. These motherfuckers can play. The names of these guys are Theo Rogers and Benjamin Scharf. I don't know what band they're in, but they live in Brooklyn. And they played this song for me. Really, it sounds pretentious to say that my own song touched me. But it was just, it wasn't mine, it was the way they did it. The way like I just did. That was a Modest Mouse cover I just played. I don't know if you guys know that. Yeah. But I know it took him a while, but Isaac eventually told me. I bumped into him in Austin, Texas, and he told me they were very moved by that record. So that's the way things go around in the universe. So I'm going to try this one in front of these guys that can actually smoke me as guitarists. I'm going to do my best to do right by this song for them. It's called Young Love. It's off of an album of mine. I believe it's from a record called among the leaves.
Correct.
On cold November days, don't like to stray far, or even leave my bed, or put down my guitar, or leave my master bedroom with its view overlooking the mountain. On dawn I think of all my friends from Washington to Maine, New York to Sweden, and how we've all grown closer with years, and how we've grown apart. Icicles fall from my burning stove bars of fire. Will we meet at and go apart, go apart? When February rains on January days, I walk into town once or twice a day. Some peace out found. My clothes are wet with rain and mountain mist. Oh, how I love the quiet. On February rains, I've gone away, chasing perfect poetry and for crying it out again. But I'm losing the will to chase it anymore. Across these roads of motion, running deep frost front, running deep, stops at the fence, sniffing at the flowering island. walked on, aching with memories of young love. Youth walked by, hand in hand. There on the corner sits an old man, his back is turned, spinning hand, playing in his eyes, he envies the beauty of young Sharp. Go ahead, you guys. What's the name of your band?
It's not together anymore, but
That's how it goes, man. I go to the same shop called Molinari's in San Francisco. This dude that's working is like 19, 20 years old. This guy's always telling me about his band problems. Fucking drummer, man. This fucking guy, like, he's always late. This fucking guy, then, like, his girlfriend doesn't want him to tour. Like, guess what? He's like, what? I'm like, it never ends. It's a beat, like, if you're for real about this, you're gonna be dealing with this shit for the rest. Oh, I've never heard that before. The drummer hates you. Oh, wow, I've never heard that. I'll tell you a true story. It's all on Netflix. It's the best quote. It was in a thing called, Hired Guns. It was Hired Guns. Way late in John Cougar's career. He'd been through all these drummers like Spinal Tap and everybody else. You know, everybody goes through a bunch of drummers, except Led Zeppelin. They knew when to quit. That's the definition of a band. When the drummer dies and you end the band, that's the definition of full for not a weak fucking link. I have so much respect for my favorite band. I have so much respect for Led Zeppelin because they stopped when John Bonham died. That's how strong, how powerful, what a part of the band.
We are all gonna die.
Huh?
Sooner or later.
Right, I'm talking all about bands. I get we're all gonna die. I told the guy, I said, man, if it ain't on Netflix, I watch the thing about John Cougar. He went to the 50 Commas home, whatever age he was at the time. This guy, this drummer, was so excited to join John Cougar's band. John shook his hand and told the drummer, "Welcome to hell." I thought, that's great. That's great. Don't get me wrong, I love this. I love being on stage in front of you guys and stuff, but people, you know, you get these emails from people, I see you're going to Europe, have a great time. It's not how it works. It's work. You get up every day. It's no Spain vacation for 10 days. It's not anything like that. You get up every single day. You fly to Poland, you fly to Moscow. That used to be a tour date for me. Tel Aviv used to be a tour date for me. The world fucking changes. That's what my mom said. The one thing you can depend on in this world is change.
It would be strange if it would be not.
It was what?
It would be strange if it would be not changed.
You're absolutely right. I'm pointing you guys to the numbers. You guys broke up. That's the test. That's just one of the tests. You're going to be in a bunch of bands. You're going to have falling outs with people, all kinds of things. I've been dropped by labels 5 to 6 times. Thought my career was over probably 30 times since 1991 when I signed my record deal. But it's just all a bunch of bullshit. There's a bunch of bullshit that I do. So you guys, sorry you guys had a falling out. I see why. Because you're both extremely talented motherfuckers. And you're two very talented motherfuckers in the same room. sometimes it's going to work out, sometimes you're going to cancel each other out. But if you're both there, just one, I guess it's just one of you that's out there. Don't stop believing in yourself because of the other guy, because I saw you on the video and you're both extremely talented. I was very humbled by that video. You see. So I'm going to play one I've played in a while here. It's complicated. Let's see if I can do this. Where are you from? Your accent, where are you from?
Russia.
I have friends over there. I'm going to play Latvia next year for a Russian promoter. A friend of mine from Moscow. He's in Latvia right now with his wife and kids. And...
Better from St. Petersburg.
Oh, okay.
Like Alexund, Volodya Vysotsky.
Right. Oh, I know Moscow.
Moscow. What
yeah.
Moscow is about?
It's about malls. That's what Moscow is about. A lot of malls. But every time I've been to Moscow, I'm telling you, I look at these buildings. These buildings are big. I'm like, wow, what is that old blood? It's a mall. And just like you go to, I'm telling you. The first time I went to Moscow, this promoter picked me up in one of those town cars.
Maybe you
No, just please. This guy was dressed in a suit. I mean, dressed in a nice suit. And we were going to go out with some of my friends, and shabby little motherfucker, you know, and this guy picks me up in a suit. Sorry, I hope I'm not offending you. It's all good. All good. All right. Okay, I'll see you. And then he takes me out. And all of his friends show up in suits. All these beautiful women that look like models show up. And I felt so self-conscious. And the next day I got a haircut. Because I just like, God, I gotta play a show tomorrow night. And I just remember the audience at first. It was like, whoa, it was like showing up in suits. But everything that was pointed out to me by my runner, my babysitter, we called them, it was Valentina, was her name. And everything I asked her, what's that? She goes, a mall. My point is, I don't know a lot about anything, but it seems like fashion is a really big thing in Moscow. Very big in fashion.
It's very sick. But whoever was in suits, they were KGB.
I try to believe them. I was talking about things went down. Am I safe to go back and play? He's a Russian promoter, but he's promoting a show in Latvia. Am I safe to do that?
In Latvia?
Yeah, of course. I know I can
In
go to
Moscow?
I know, they're not invited there. That's fine. I'm based in Moscow in the past. You know, you guys, I'm 57 years old. I could fucking fall over and die. I'm getting old. But anyhow, let's move on to something else. I appreciate it. It's nice to have somebody to talk to. The road is lonely, man. The road is lonely. My friend Mike was here. He was going to meet me for dinner last night. Then he couldn't. That's how New Yorkers are. I was like, yeah, they don't. And then you're just eating by yourself, eating Italian food, costs $80. And then, by myself, I can't show up with all the merch and all this stuff, and I text the venue, I'm like, hey, I'm here. They're like, yeah, come on in, I'm in the theater. I'm like, can I get some help? But anyhow, so I appreciate it. God, this guitar is not holding tunes. Nicotine stains my throat on the slow moving boat that I'm looking for. Down the river, along the sea, up in the sky, the big black kite is falling. Stranger with skin, paralyzing, walking my time in my American ashes, and where I'm hoping to find. Down up in the breeze, a big black sheep is falling. Walking every day on my way to Chinatown to buy presents for my love. Black kite, black kite, black kite. Telephone inside my head, will it ever ring? Paper laying at my door, there outside the window. Black kite, black kite, black.
Play in Russian songs.
What's that?
We play in Russian songs.
Remind me of my dad. My dad, Evan, this is true. Modest Mouse, because Evan used to tee up for Modest Mouse. Modest Mouse opened for my band in the Red House Painters in 1996, 1997 in Cleveland. My dad, I'm from Polish ancestry. I forgot all about it. I was walking yesterday in New York along Fifth Avenue. There was this crazy parade going on. It was a Polish festival. It was so annoying.
Yes.
Across Fifth over to Madison, close to my hotel. I was like, God, this whole thing's annoying. And I didn't even think to ask him. When I got to my hotel, I remembered that I was from Polish ancestry, and I should ask him what the festival was all about. But anyhow, Modest House was open, of course. My dad was beside the stage yelling, "Do you guys know any polkas?" Polkas. No, I don't know any Russian music. I'm sorry, I don't know polkas. No, I don't know any Russian music. Yeah, I went there. I go to a lot of places. I've been to like Genk, Belgium. Not Ghent, but Genk, Belgium. I've been to Qatar, Montenegro, and I played in this is really embarrassing to admit, but I hadn't even heard of Antwerp until I toured there. There's a lot of places that I've never heard of until the day before I get there. And I can't write a song for all of them. I might have a mention of Moscow in the song. I think I do, you guys. And I know the name of it. It's a minute long. I think it's the most listened to song on my Spotify. It's called I Know It's Pathetic, but that was the greatest night of my life.
Woo! Come on! We want that one.
I'll try to sing it. I don't know the chords. Who's got the words on the phone? Somebody get her up quick. Yeah, I did write some about Russia. Yeah, no problem.
Wow. Wow.
Song on Spotify. I think because it's a minute long.
Woo! Yeah!
Carry firewood. Play the mic, plug the SM58 into the jack. Was backstage in Moscow late one night. That's not the right word. Don't trust these Google lyrics. Never trust this lyric genius bullshit. Was backstage in Moscow late one night. We shared a cigarette and a kiss goodbye. Her name was Guyana, young and soft. Her hands trembled badly, her eyes trailed on to bottles and objects around the room. My backup guitar and a tray of fruit. It says tray of food. It's tray of fruit. I'm still working.
Well, I didn't know
You didn't have very much to say. She said that she'd come from some other place, a town called Troyst, or maybe Troysk. Was pretty distracted, packing my stuff, but I did make a point to ask her to stay. But she said she had friends that she had to go see. Later that summer, I picked up my mail. She sent me a letter with a touching detail. She said, I used up my minutes calling hotels to find you that night, but to no avail. I know it's pathetic. She continued to write, but that was the greatest night of my life.
Woo!
Come on, Mark!
It's called, I know it's pathetic, but that was the greatest night of my life. Now you don't even care. She's like, wow.
Thanks, Mark.
Thank you.
I had a special song for That's all life is. This is all life is. Staring at her phone, poking away at her phone. I went out of my way. I went out of my way for you. Or do you need Reddit or something? What are you doing with your phone? You fucking email? You need to text and Reddit? What are you doing? You're like ripping me apart. I can tell. Did they not have a chair for you guys or what? They oversold the room.
Hey.
No to that. I'll go back and some stuff and playing the guitar. I know, but you're right in my line of vision. I'm like, good.
I'm trying to give you some idea.
Stop.
Okay, but it's just, you're right in my line of vision.
I'm not here for that.
You got it, Mark!
find their sweet spot. Devoted my whole life. Nothing came by luck. Your dad paid for your college. My dad gave me a $5. Oh, and this session down here at Alesund, my elbow at the desk, and I listen, I scrutinize. Come on, lay down and dead. Drum loop stuck in my head. I try to shut my brain off. With an open eye, stalker again. Oh, lonely record no longer has a home. The only money comes when I get out on the road. Oh, lonely ocean wide, must I cross to end up in Puerto Rico, Spain, where I turn my thoughts. Oh, lonely singer lies there awake, looks at the clock, flipping through a black book, relearning something that he forgot. Oh, eager friend follows me from shore to shore. But if I have a good night, I might come out and say hello. Oh, patient love, waiting by the phone. I'll call her from my way home and tell her I'm coming home. Scattered lights of South San Francisco sparkle like night. When the night is black and my airplane is downward back. Oh Lord, I missed you. Lie down next to me and sway with me like the ocean until I fall into a deep long sleep. Oh, dandelion coming up from the ground. I reach for an open, write down some words and try to wind down. Okay, I'm gonna read it. This is interesting. Black angels. There is no God, no Buddha, no Mass. There are no angels anywhere else. They were expired from the dark paradise, and they live on earth. You pass by and don't know at all what you have met, Angela. Thank you. You think I know how to use a phone like this?
The poem.
I know, just send it to Reddit. Angela's nice to meet you.
I'm not Angela. My name is Nagarin.
Okay. Angela, it's been nice talking. But there's a sign on the front door, and I don't know if you understood it, but it says no phones, cell phones off, and there's a security guard who's working for me who's sitting right next to you. I know, but we've had a nice time. I've had a wonderful time talking to you. Now I got a lot of people here, a lot of other friends here. You're one of my friends, but I got to get on to some other things. I got a security guard sitting right next to me.
Mark,
I want to get on with my show.
couches where people can like lock their phones in during the show and like as they're leaving.
I'm not gonna thanks for the conversation over. There's no more conversation. I appreciate everybody that's been talking to me and starting to wonder, now you want to kind of conversation about something else about couches and shit. This song very often. It gets requested by dudes. A lot of dudes want to hear this song. It's by a fighter named Salvador Sanchez. This guy was Salvador Sanchez. He was awesome. Probably one of the best featherweights ever. And we'll never really know because he only lived to be 23 years old. His last fight was Zuma Nelson. This guy died with 41 and 0 record or something at 23 years old. Most guys, even Mayweather right now is probably like 45, a household name. Sugar Ray Robinson had like 220 pro fights. Can't compare the new guys to the old guys because the new guys are fighting once a year. Salvador Sanchez, before he was 23 years old, fought, I believe, somewhere in the range of 41 pro fights. His last fight was with the Zuma Nelson, and it was the Caesar's Palace. He went to Mexico City. Don King was promoting. Don King brought him a brand new Mustang, I believe it was. He went racing down the highway in Mexico City. He was killed in a car accident. This is a song I dedicated to Salvador Sanchez, a couple other guys fighters who lost their lives young. This isn't the key. I played on the record, but I'm going to give this one a shot. Salvador Sanchez, around only 23, was so my mother, who's 88 years old, also visited my father. But I read her, and I started fucking crying. I don't feel like doing that again. So I had other few options of spoken word things to give myself a break from the guitar, and my back starts to hurt. I'm gonna see what I got here, some options. I got one called Steve Buscemi, but I'm not going to do that. It's pretty funny. Let's do this one. Okay, this one might be kind of long. I'm sorry if it is, but you know what? A bunch of people just lost their lives in Asheville, North Carolina. And a lot. And I've played there a lot. I played Asheville, North Carolina a lot. It's my favorite part of North Carolina. I was going to write something for them. And then I realized that I already have. I wrote something. It's probably more meaningful. This was about a different time. I wrote this on September 19, 2019. The thing about it is, I've edited it down. It's actually on a spoken word album I call The Best Isaac Hayes. This piece, but I've had to trim sections of it down because it's just insanely long. But there's no way to do this piece about Asheville without dissing on the city of Nashville. That's the thing to know. So if you're called about Nashville, it's a little bit. I got some love for Nashville too, but it all ties in together. Nashville. All the love in this goes to Asheville. I was going to edit out all the Nashville stuff just to keep it really clean, but there's just no way to do it. All right. And I might read her poem, and now I read poem. That's the way it works. Okay. So I'm going to try to make this not too long. And I'm going to see what happens. 2:20 p.m. September 19, 2019, Asheville, North Carolina. It's good to be back. I played here 3 or 4 times in the past over at a place called the Great Eagle. I love that venue. I especially liked it when they served Cajun food. The cook was from New Orleans. I once asked him if the crawfish there were fresh or frozen. He laughed at me, turned his back on me, came back and set a dozen live crawfish on my table. We watched them crawl around the table. He said, "Do they look fresh enough for you?" He and I hit it off. We shared a mutual love for New Orleans. As the years passed, he eventually quit the venue, and the kitchen became something else, maybe a Mexican restaurant, I'm not sure. But they always treated us well at the Great Eagle. And I was loyal to them for years. But this time around, the Masonic Temple came up with a better offer, and I got bills to pay, and so here we are. So far, so good. I've never had a bad time in Asheville. People are friendly here. There's a holistic homeopathic vibe, and everyone seems so healthy and happy, good-natured. People in Asheville sort of glow. We went to the Whole Foods today. There was a trio playing outside. 2 women on ukulele and a guy on an instrument called the melodia. One of the women's names was Katie Sachs. We had a nice time talking to them, and she gave me her CD. I walked away from them thinking not only did they sound good, they glowed. Believe it or not, years back, I almost considered buying a house here in Asheville. I was a lot younger. Someone was driving me around. I saw this big old beautiful house on a hill that had a for sale sign on it, and I thought I could live here. But then the tour went on, life went on, and I ended up back where I started, where I still remain, California. I've lived there for 32 years, but who knows? I may buy a home in Asheville at some point. So there's Asheville, and there's Nashville. Two very different places. I've had good shows in Nashville, but I've always felt that the people there want other people to believe that it's something that it's actually not.
Hey.
If you don't like it, you write your own piece and get up on stage. All right, so Jack White bought a house there, wow. But to me, it's still the capital of country music, nothing wrong with that. There seems to be this overcompensation going on there. Every time I talk to people in Nashville, they tell me how progressive the city is getting and how cool it is. Like they're trying to sell me a used car. Or more like a used car with a bobcat in the back seat that they promise won't bite. In my mind, if a city is something, you should be able to visit the place and see and feel the vibe without it being explained to you. So I went walking around after my show in Nashville last night, and some guy was selling hot dogs on the corner, listening to a country song with a chorus that went, "Drink a beer." And then I'm walking down the same street. And from the balcony of a bar, these drunk guys are dropping buckets of ice on people's heads as they walk past. And I thought, yeah, this city's a little shinier than it used to be, a little glossier, sure. But I completely get why Kid Rock calls this place home. Like I said, though, I've always had some good shows in Nashville. I have a close friend who lives an hour outside of Nashville. His grandmother was like a grandmother to me. Two of my grandparents passed before I was born, and the other two when I was around 7, 8 years old. I always stayed in her spare room when playing Nashville. Her house was quiet and set back in a cul-de-sac neighborhood. Her name was Dorothy. She died in 2016 at 96 years old. She loved me and I loved her. She cooked me breakfast when I was away. She'd always ask her grandson, "How's Mark doing?" You know, the cover of the Ghost of the Great Highway album. She gave me that photo. She gave me a shoebox full of photos one day and said, "Mark, pick a photo and keep whatever you want." I picked that one. The girl on the cover of Ghost of the Great Highway, Dorothy, gave me that. She had no idea who the girl in the photo was, but guessed by the shoes on the girl's feet, the photo was taken around the turn of the century, 1800 going into 1900. But anyhow, last night in Nashville, we played this chain place called City Winery. Nice staff, good sound guy, nice grand piano. But when I walked on stage, barely anybody clapped. And I looked down at my lyric sheets and I saw a couple at the table gorging on French fries. I know I'm not a big heavy hitter like Nick Cave or Bob Dylan or any of that, but I was thinking, my God, can you please show a little respect? I gotta sing for 2.5 hours and listen to a couple in the front row crunching on French fries and smell the greasy fucking things while I'm singing. The thing is, the problem is, I didn't just think that, I said it. As the show went on, at least a half a dozen waitresses were walking around and taking people's orders while I'm singing songs about my father who was on life alert, tribute songs to my mother, and songs addressing gun violence. Within 5 minutes of being on that stage, it occurred to me that I'm not a dinner theater artist. Scott and Chris and I gave it our all, but we'd finish a song, the audience applause was about as loud as the sound of a pepper shaker. So I started to give the audience shit, telling them that they didn't understand music that wasn't verse, bridge, chorus, guitar solo, verse, bridge, chorus, chorus. That didn't go over very well. You know why? Because it was true. And the truth hurts. There was a young man in the front who told me he was in Nashville studying music business. So I invited him up on stage and told him, please explain the music business to both me and the audience. He got up on the mic and took the opportunity to plug his EP that's on Spotify. People laughed and so did I, but I said, man, that's not what I asked you to do. I asked you to tell me what's going on in the music business because it's 2019. I had no fucking idea what's going on in the music business. He told everybody, this is what he said. I said, tell him what the fuck is going on with music business. This is why I brought you up. Tell him what's going on. This is what this guy said. Well, I don't know. But there's a new music venue in Nashville that lets you park for free. Listen, that's all you got? Get the fuck off of my fucking stage. I can't put my finger on it. But since my earliest days of going to Nashville, that place has been in a perpetual state of an identity crisis. At the end of the day, that audience didn't get me, and I didn't get them, but that's okay. I picked up my check and got the fuck out of there. No more dinner theaters for me, ever, for the rest of my life. By the way, I'm banned for City Winery permanently. But so is this other band, what are they called? The Milk Carton Kids. Oh! These guys are the most vanilla, generic wine artists you've ever seen in your lives. They're banned from City Winery. How they happened, I have no idea. On the drive from Nashville to here, Chris and I were discussing why the audience was so lackluster. Chris, he's a biotech. Chris, the pianist biotech, has a scientific brain. He said, well, Mark, you have to understand, when people are sitting down drinking beer and eating macaroni and cheese, it has a sedative effect on them. It makes them feel sleepy, and it requires too much effort for them to raise their hands and clap. As we drove further, we ended up at this rest area in an area called Buffalo Rest Area Smith County Welcome Center in the Smoky Mountains. Okay, I just crossed this next part out, cross this next part out, cross this next part out. But maybe I shouldn't have. I'm working on a photo book about the decline of the payphone and asked the guy working there if there were any payphones around. It was the most well-kept rest area I'd ever been to in my life. He said, well, we don't have payphones anymore, but I can show you these pads where they used to be. One's 30 yards north and the other's 30 yards south. I'd be happy to walk you over there and show them to you, my friend. I said, that would be great. We walked to both of them and he showed me these large oblong cement things called pads where payphones used to be. I took a few photos and said, this will be great for my payphone book. I got payphones from all over the world, South America, Asia, Australia, Europe, USA, Canada. I was dropping all these names to this guy. We're at the Smoky Mountains. He asked, do you mind if I ask you, how are you funding all this, my friend? I said, I'm a musician. Music takes me all over the world. I played Nashville last night, and I'm on my way to Asheville for another show. He said, well, what kind of music do you play? I said, well, on this tour, it's a pianist and a drummer, and I'm singing. It's sort of melancholic, but with some humor, a combination of me singing and doing some spoken word. He said, well, my friend, that's a little over my head. I said, well, you're not alone. Because over the heads of 80% of our Nashville audience last night. He said, well, that's the thing about art. Some people are going to get it and some won't. I said, man, I'm 52 years old and I've been doing this for 27 years and you just summed up art in one sentence better than anyone I've ever met in my entire life. He said, well, my friend, I hope you have a better night in Asheville. And this book of yours, it sounds real interesting. You're a unique fella and I enjoyed talking with you. I said, same to you, my friend. And I shook his hand and complimented him on the cleanliness of his rest area. He said, well, we do our best. Okay, this is all scrambled up. On the way back from the Whole Foods in Asheville, we crossed the French Broad River. I saw a big mural that said, stay weird. And I thought, I love this place. September 20, 2019, it's 4 in the afternoon. We're on our way to Winchester, Virginia tonight to stay at a halfway point between Asheville, North Carolina and Sellersville. Our last show on the east side of the USA is tomorrow night in Sellersville, Pennsylvania. We had a great show in Asheville last night. Lots of love from the crowd, good sound, and Isabel Castelli was great on cello. There was a big tall guy up front with a beard, and I asked him how tall he was. Instead of answering me, he gave me a business card. I read it. I'd read it tonight, but I left it behind in Asheville. I do remember it gave a description of his height, 6'7", and it listed answers to the 3 most common questions people ever asked him. Yes, he played basketball in high school. No, he's not a lumberjack. He's actually a graphic designer, and it said, played giraffe in high school plays. Then it said something like, thank you for asking, this has been a great conversation. It's now after midnight, and we're at the Wingate Hotel in Winchester, Virginia. We got in, I needed to get some walking in, and Chris joined me, went to Starbucks, blah, 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 blah. We paid the bill, then walked back to the hotel. My herpes blister went away for a few days, but it's blistering back up again under the left side of my bottom lip. Yeah, I got herpes, and 1 out of 3 people has herpes. I was dragging myself around that walk, but I need the exercise. I can't sit idle all day. I'm going to take a bath now and try to get back into Henry Miller's Black Spring, which I've not opened since a flight from Edmonton to Winnipeg a few weeks ago. We've got an 11 a.m. lobby call tomorrow and a 3-hour drive to Sellersville, I'm told. Let me just get to the very end. This is just too long. Wait a second. Okay, I'll just read this last thing. This morning in the lobby of the Winchester Hotel, I met a guy who had a shirt on that said, I don't drink and I know things. I mean, I'd just woken up 10 minutes earlier and thought that's what it said. I told him I thought the shirt made a really smart statement. So I called Scott and asked him to come downstairs and get a photo of me standing next to this guy. I told the guy, that's a really smart shirt. I love it. Drinking is not good for you. That shirt makes a positive statement. He just stood there smiling while we waited for Scotty to come down. Scotty does photography. I was getting bored waiting for Scott, so I asked the guy if I could take a picture of the shirt with my flip phone. He said, okay. But when I gave the shirt a good look, I realized it actually said, I drink and I know things. I thought, oh no, I don't want to take a photo of this guy anymore. And right when I thought that, Scott showed up with his camera and we got the photo shoot over with fast. When the guy walked away, I told Scott, man, I misread the shirt. I had it off by 1 word. I assumed the shirt had a positive message, but it was just one of those dumb redneck t-shirts you see in the South. Sorry about that. What's our time? What's the time? 11:33. Shit. Damn, sorry about that. Show's over. All right, Brandon, let's get up here. Let's do a song together. 11:33. I still got a little time, right, Elise?
15 minutes.
Huh? 15 minutes. All right, let's do this. Brandon Ross, everybody.
All right.
Sorry about that, guys. No, it was actually a lot longer. Brandon Ross and I are friends. We have made a collaborative record together. All of his parts are complete, and I've been dragging the ball on it a little bit. But we made a beautiful record on 29th and Broadway at a friend's place where we both sat and improvised on guitar. And I gotta put some words to all this stuff, but it's gonna be really, really nice. But Brandon, it's wonderful to have you today. Wonderful to have you. Wonderful to have you. So I'm gonna do this with Brandon, then I'll try one more, and then thank everybody for coming out. He's busy. He was just playing the Monterey Festival and Albuquerque and all kinds of things. He's a very busy man. I appreciate you made the time to do this. Let's try one out. I used to go to a quiet bar and fish at the pier and catch kingfish and perch. But look off the houseboats in Sausalito and think of my young life in Ohio. Fishing for catfish with my dad. I'd sometimes swim in the Ohio River, scared of catfish rumored to be the size of man. But when I was young, I didn't dream this far. The only bodies of water I knew were the Ohio River and my cousin's bass pond and the bar. From the aquatic park here, I took some of my best photos there. Pelicans and seagulls, sailboats and barges, and many people, many people. My girlfriend and friends and family members, happy fishing, catching rare seals and pulling on crabs. Gatherings at a water park, give me a deli ice cream. Fireworks at a water park in Paclutha, vessel. Tide pools at a water park, mossy, slippery rocks. Moonlight at a water park at dark. A few months ago, I was walking down Polk Street to the bait shop. I walked down the cement stairs like I've been doing for the last 38 years. The pier was empty and all locked up, with no explanation assigned to keep out. I stood there feeling glum and choked up, thinking about my many laughs and good times on the pier. Thinking about the police who spent all day there, eavesdropping on their conversations about who their dentist was in San Quentin. Thinking about my many problems with my mother there, like a friend that could depend on. Now going to the pier isn't the same. Now it feels like I'm visiting one of my best friends' grave. Now I just pass and go over the great meadow. Okay, Elise wants me to play the song Alesund because Elise was just an Alesund. What is your name, just so I remember?
Natalie.
Natalie, thank you, Natalie, for being
You're
here.
very much.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Okay, so security, so what's gonna happen? I'm gonna walk off the stage, and if you can just do me this favor. Just, I'm sorry, nah, I can't leave that to you. Just let me know. I need this stuff. I need this stuff. I'm gonna tell one last thing, and then I'm gonna play a song. I'm gonna tell one last thing. Just, you know, sometimes we think something. Sometimes we think something, but it's not what we think. I'll give an example. I'm not gonna say what city it was in, but I was playing a city, and you know, after the show, I went backstage. I thought it was backstage, but it was an outdoor area for the public. And I took all my lyrics, this many lyrics, it's the size of a small telephone book. And, you know, and I had my own SM58 because I was at that time really neurotic about I didn't want my germs, somebody else's germs on my mouth. Or my herpes germs on my mouth. So I got off the stage, I took my SM58 mic and I went backstage and boom, there was like 20 fans just looked right in my face. And I had just was on stage talking about how there's no record release parties anymore. Like, you know, there's just, they don't exist. In the 90s, we'd release records and there'd be record release parties. And so I'm telling this story on stage, and I get off stage, and I was talking about how there's no more record release parties. Nobody knows when anybody's record is released anymore, because there's 70,000 singles released a day, blah, blah, blah. And I get off stage, and I go what I think's backstage, and boom, there's like 20 people right there. This girl, she was 23 years old, she came up, and she goes, I just want you to know, I I just want you to know that there's still record release parties because I'm in a band and we're called blah, blah, blah. We're actually having a record release party and there's like 20 people are watching this. And I'm like, they're always right, just always just like, oh, okay, yeah, thanks for educating me on that. It's really good. You guys are having a record release party. What's your band name again? She told me her band name. And she told me how it was. Told me how it was. And she walked off, and this guy came up and whispered in my ear, he goes, dude, 23-year-olds will throw a party for anything. And anyhow, I was so distracted. There was a security guard there, and all that. I was so distracted. I was like, what the fuck is the backstage? I got out of there. And I left all my lyrics and my special SM58 microphone on the picnic table that was back there. And I settled with the venue, and I got out of there, and I flew, and I was like, fuck! I left all my lyrics and my microphone, my special microphone, on a picnic table with 20, what you think are these obsessive fans or whatever. And I'm like, ugh, they stole my shit. And I called the fucking venue. And I called the venue and I was like, oh man, I know it's probably, that shit's probably a problem, but I need that. I gotta print out all this shit now and I gotta go get another SM58 microphone. And he said, no, man, none of those fans took your stuff. The security guard was right there. And he hung out, and we got it all right here for you. And they overnighted it to me, and I got it a couple cities later. Not much of a story, but sometimes I think something. Like I'm assuming people are gonna want to steal my lyrics. Like you guys really want this shit in your life. So let's do this Alesund song. To be on the safe side, just make sure nobody takes it. This microphone's Evans, don't make sure they don't take Evans' microphone. There's so much